Hi everyone, this is Charlotte. Today's episode is a lot darker than most, and I want to give content warnings about alcoholism, death, and also just a ton of transphobia. Other than that, enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Bad Experiences podcast now. It has to be transgeneral.
It has to be.
Has to be.
Always wasn't, always shall be. Forever. Amen.
Kate, talk us in. I always do it. It will throw people off. Do it.
No.
Oh.
I don't know how it goes. I don't know how it goes.
And welcome back to the transgeneral podcast.
Oh, there you've done it.
Welcome back to the Transgeneral Podcast. I'm your host, Charlotte. Today we have Chelsea.
As always.
As always. Yes.
Well, maybe one day it won't be, and then
we've got four
true.
people, so we could possibly, maybe one day, I need to teach people my tricks, so maybe one day I won't even be here.
No one wants that.
What a somber future. And we have Kate.
Hello.
Hi. So, how's everyone doing? Emails. We've got emails.
Just run right into those emails.
Nope. First, how is everyone doing?
Okay. I'm okay.
Yeah?
A bit tired.
Yeah. You've got, pajamas on.
I do. I forgot to take my medication yesterday, and I was fine all day until last night, and then I kind of got some side effects, and I've just been so tired all day today, and I think it's because of that. Also, huge weekend.
Woo.
Yeah. So, an event I run, we had a music festival, Queer and Now Fest, and the week prior to that, we changed venue within a week. So the week was flat out, but the actual day went exceptionally well, and I'm very happy and very proud.
You've done very well.
Of our little community in the Gong.
I'm nodding. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be a way to communicate nodding via audio.
If I nod into the mic,
You hum, you go,
Video games.
Kate, you got to fill us in.
Oh, well, I'm tired. But without good reason.
You partied pretty hard on Saturday.
Yeah. And then I had to get up, super early and dye my mum's hair.
What a time.
Yeah.
Every day,
How about you? Have you been?
I've been fine. I didn't get much of a hangover that time, but, still got the hangover going from the Transgeneral Drunk podcast. What a time.
Yeah, we're back and sober and much less entertaining, apparently.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It was great to edit. I was just I didn't want to stop editing. It was just really funny. And a lot of it, I was like, wow, I said that. Cool, I'm funny when I'm drunk.
That sucks when you realize, oh man, I should just live my whole life drunk.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, there's a reason. There's a reason.
A lot of reasons why not to do that.
Well, I was going to lead into an incredibly somber joke about alcoholism, but I'm going to go with what you said, and there's a lot of reasons not to do that.
Is a somber joke worth it? If you're going to make a joke about something, you might as well entertain people.
If it's a joke that makes people sad, is it a joke?
Self-deprecating jokes make everyone sad.
No, they make people laugh because haha, everyone's as shit as I am.
Yeah, but
it's
are
good.
you an alcoholic? Because I don't think that's really your space to make jokes.
I was.
You was?
I was, yeah.
Sorry, my grammar just really
You was.
dropped the ball on my grammars.
This is the Bad Times episode, so I can go into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 2012. I was in a bad place. Alcohol didn't cost much compared to what I was being paid at Domain. So
that is the thing about alcohol, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even with all the taxes and stuff like that, it's just so easily accessible and affordable.
So yeah, I had a liquor cabinet that I think in total when I finished stocking it had cost me around $1,500. Over time, that became no liquor cabinet at all. It now has cups in it and stuff. Yeah. Welcome to the Bad Times podcast.
We're going to talk about some bad times, but like in a way that's not going to be that rough, I hope.
Yeah.
We're
That's
gonna
right.
we're gonna bring our trademark humor and levity to some shit times, because that's the only way I know how to get through.
I know another way to get through, but let's not talk about that.
Okay,
Again.
I know another
30
way to
seconds
get
after.
through. Let's read some emails.
Yeah. All right, we have a question from Asher. Hi, Asher.
Hi,
How
Asher.
you doing? So Asher was wondering, now that we've done 12 episodes, are we going to take a year hiatus?
We just not long came off of a little hiatus.
But are we going to take a year now?
Is it like anime seasons? Is this where it's like? Is it the idea? We've done our 12 episodes.
Excuse me, Chelsea. It's called a core.
Oh god.
Like, note to all of our listeners, don't make anime jokes on the weeks where I'm on. 'Cause I don't get them. Thank you.
It's literally called a core. I'm just sort of like being the insufferable anime nerd that tells people, you said a season, but you meant a core.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe I'm
I
talking
know.
about
you
like.
do know.
What about a British comedy series? Because they usually have about 12 episodes or
I'm
something.
going to start calling them a core
6
and
to 12.
calling anime seasons.
Please don't do this to me. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
we're not going to do that. We're not going to stop.
No, I don't intend to stop anytime soon.
You're
I
gonna
mean,
keep
how much
going.
money did you spend on these microphones?
Too much.
We need to get our money's worth. Or we
cash
need to get
money.
Charlotte's money's worth out of
Yeah,
this.
please get my money's worth. Spit all over these mics.
I've got so many
That's how
things
you
to
get
say.
money worth. Spit on it.
Look, some people are into these things and they'll pay you, whatever. We've got other emails.
I'm about to sneeze, so
Oh,
this is
sorry.
going to take some editing probably.
Sneeze on air. It'll be a bad time.
No, it didn't happen. God, it's such a letdown.
That is a bad time.
It's kind of like when you're about to have an orgasm, but that just doesn't happen.
I think not sneezing is worse. To be real.
You get
Yeah.
right there, and then something distracts you, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I've lost it.
This is like a bad times relatable podcast.
But I got too far, and now I can't go again.
Yeah.
God, I hope my family doesn't listen to this.
Hey, Dane.
Hey, brother.
What you doing? What's up? So, all right. So we have another email called Medical Box Ticking. It's from Awesome Ash. So, did you read this one?
I can't remember.
Okay. Do you wanna? We should probably.
Just read it.
Okay.
Let's just do it live.
Fuck it. We're doing it live. I'm currently studying to be a paramedic. Computerized patient records are now the main way that we make our patient records, which brings with it the wonders of spell check and legible writing. However, it is very limited in other ways, specifically the select a gender male/female box. I cannot submit my record without selecting one of these binary genders. I would love to stick it to the system and refuse to take a box. Unfortunately, patient records are important, especially if pain relief medication have been given. If they aren't accounted for, I don't have a job, or any investigation into patient treatments are conducted, and as one way we pass on information to the hospital staff, they make me take a box. What are some ways to bring up questions about a patient's gender without being an uneducated cisgendered moron? Whenever possible, a patient's gender is whichever of the limited boxed options they would like. Occasionally, injury or illness vary between genders. If you have a uterus, there are a lot of extra questions. There are a lot of extra questions I need to ask about your abdominal pain. Again, how do I do this without being unaware, cisgendered, dum-dum?
Yeah, so I've actually sat in on a talk from someone from the Gender Centre in Sydney, came down to talk to the medical students at my university on this sort of thing. And I think like best practice is basically just if you have to tick a box and you're forced to do it for the records to even submit at all, yeah, be frank and ask the patient what they'd like you to do. There is also ways to ask about people's body parts without gendering the body parts or the person. So if you need to ask if someone has a uterus, just ask them if they have a uterus. Right? Like, I think that's far more important. I mean, you'll never know if someone's trans, but like, I imagine the amount of times where that's that relevant is actually quite small. There's like the body part difference, sure, but from what I've been reading recently, if someone's on hormones, most of like the effects of medication and pain stuff is much closer to that of their like of the hormones in their body, not of what their assigned gender was at birth. So it is complex, but yeah, you just need to learn how to ask the right questions. And then yeah, like don't announce it and make it such a big deal if someone has body parts that are incongruent with your idea of what they should have for their assigned gender or whatever. So in front of other staff, play it down as much as you can.
Don't be shit.
Don't be shit, basically, yeah. But yeah, like there are limitations in systems and you can only do what you can, I guess, in that sort of situation. It would be nice to say, hey, let's just be radical and stick it to the system, but you need to keep your job and you're trying to save people's lives. That takes up a lot of energy as it is. But it sounds like you're trying to do something, trying to do what you can, and we appreciate that a lot. Even though, yeah.
I'd like to bring up like the whole male/female thing. That's not genders, that's just like sex, which is like this sort of annoying, made up, partially concept where it's just like if these things align, you are this sex. If they don't, you are that sex. And generally it's assigned on like the absence of or presence of a penis, and then people assume it has everything to do with DNA and chromosomes and crap like that. So they're not asking you to tick a gender box, they're asking you to tick a sex box.
Yeah, I guess try and in your mind like decouple the whole sex and gender thing as well. But like asking questions about like people's body parts is really more relevant to you than asking their gender or sex is.
Like so, like almost everyone is so averse to asking like about or like talking about, not asking about like just body parts in terms of what the body parts are. Like people will say feminine parts to talk about a vagina. I'm like, fuck off, please.
Yeah, they're not necessarily so. And look, you've been through medical training, so of some sorts to be a paramedic, so you should know those words pretty well. And yeah just use them, I think. And when it comes down to it, if that person's in pain or in an emergency or whatever, they're more likely to tell you, especially if you're upfront, I think.
I'm in pain. I have a dick. Please make the pain go away.
I mean, if you have, like, genital area pain, then, yeah, that's relevant, but... Yeah.
I stubbed my toe and I have a dick. Please.
Yeah, it's just like, my arm's been cut off. I mean, like, what? That's not relevant. Like... I mean, how often do you need to really ask those questions is my question.
Yeah, like with like a lot of abdominal pains, there are ways that aren't the location of a uterus to tell what's actually happening to the person. Like different types of swelling, different types of pain, locations of pain. And like, you know, people know that. As a paramedic, you probably know that.
You should just be best practice to ask every person if they have a uterus. Every person.
How many
say
dicks
hi.
do you have? I have a number box I have to fill in.
Describe your internal organs to the best of your knowledge. But the truth is, I couldn't even tell someone if I have 2 kidneys. Like, how do you know that even what your body is until you've had to have like
Invasive
a surgery or like
an MRI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's spooky.
It is.
Anything could be in me.
Maybe I've had a uterus this whole time. Like, who knows?
Maybe.
Could be floating around in there. Floating? Is that what they do? Do uteruses float?
That's what they used to think.
Oh, because that's what
in medieval
hysteria
times,
was.
they used to think that I think the uterus just like roamed your body.
Sometimes it shows up in weird places, you know.
I don't know what that was the reasoning for, but there was some kind of event that happened to people, and the scientist doctors were like, yeah, it's because the uterus is floating around.
That could do, like, I would like to find out what made them think that. Someone just took a stab in the dark.
Were they trying to be like, hysteria is when the uterus floats up to the brain?
That's clearly upsetting.
I just don't understand.
That's like too real, too close to what they were actually saying.
We keep oppressing women, and then they act in ways that I don't understand. We must diagnose this.
Oh, God.
Anyway, that was a cool question, I guess. Like,
yeah,
it is an important thing, and the whole medical issue is very real. And yeah, try and do everything you can to make the experience less than crap for trans or gender diverse. And like the thing is, you can't necessarily tell if anyone is trans, because I've heard of stories of people getting right to like surgery and then like doctors or whatever are seeing people's genitals, and then they're all like up in arms. It's
They're
like,
like,
oh,
whoa,
being transphobic and things like
I'm
that.
a doctor and I've never seen one of those before.
I refuse to operate. Actually, there's some really gross ideas in the medical community about trans people. Like trans women are all addicted to drugs, or they just self-harm so they can come in and get like a reconstructive surgery and stuff like that. I know a story in our state about a trans woman who was beaten quite severely in her face and went to hospital. And yeah, it was basically this idea that trans women just do it to themselves so they can get facial reconstruction surgery. And it's like, there's a lot of transphobia in the medical community. It's really sad.
We can go into my bad time. Actually,
That's
we've
a
got
good
an email
segue.
from Jess, but from Ness. We've got an email from Ness, but we'll segue into my bad time and then back.
Yeah, let's go. Let's zigzag in and out of the mailbag.
All right, so my bad time is I recently went to see a doctor about an orchidectomy, and he seemed...
What's an
receptive.
orchidectomy?
An orchidectomy is where they take my testicles and they put them in a jar.
Is it orchiectomy?
No, I don't think so.
Hang on, let me consult Google. I am often wrong.
Orchidectomy. People just like, yeah, I see everyone writing orchiectomy, and I'm like, okay. Sure.
It looks like either's fine because there's definitely orchiectomy
Yeah.
here.
So yeah, it's that thing where they take my testicles off, and I was like, "Cool, could you do that, please?" And I'll pay you money. And he was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Like,
Orchidectomy sounds like a flower being removed.
yeah, I thought that was the whole point.
That's
like,
so nice and cute. I think it sounds like a whale.
Deflowering? Hello, I'm here to be deflowered. Someone probably pull us up and be all like, actually, the orchid is the such and such part. It's like the stamen. I don't know anything about plants.
please, someone very indignantly pull us up with an email. We
Yeah.
love it.
I'd love to get
Come
that
on,
email, to be
horticulturalists,
real.
it's your time to shine.
So yeah, he was like pretty receptive. He was just like, "Yep, sure, totally. We'll have an appointment in a month. I'll draft up stuff and talk to the doc that referred you from Taylor Square, and should be all fine." And then he talked to his lawyers, and his lawyers probably like trans scared him, and he got his assistant to call me up and be like, "No, sorry, not happening." Because, I don't know, I'm trans, so therefore I'm delusional and I'll sue him. Even though they were drafting up, like, informed consent forms.
Well, I mean, like, how bad can you mess up that procedure? Are they worried because it's, like, abdominal that if they mess up something else, that it's,
I
like,
think-
high risk or something?
No, I think it's more like they're worried that I
You'll change
could...
your mind or something?
Yeah. Like, it's so fucking institutionalized that trans people will change their mind, even though in the past few decades, there's only been, like, 20 stories, like 20 high-profile stories of people detransitioning who want their story out there, and they just keep getting recycled.
The other thing as well is, like, I know a big part of it comes from the medical community's obsession with maintaining people's ability to reproduce.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like technically like anything that you could do that could stop you from having kids is the same kind of thing. It's not just trans stuff. Like they're really reluctant to make it so you can't have children. Although sometimes they just throw around hysterectomies pretty liberally, from what I've heard from the past. They used to do it for all sorts of reasons that they no longer do.
This needs to come out.
Yeah.
But I've read a lot of cases of like cis women just being like, I'm never gonna want to have a kid.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to fuck around with birth control. Can you please take it off me?
That's like
And the doctor's like, no, I can't. I won't. You must have a child. Your duty is to reproduce.
But that's like high level birth control. It's like next gen. Super tier.
I think it's more like old gen.
It's like old gen birth control. But yeah, the doc himself didn't seem so bad. Just like fear mongering got him to say no.
But if like you were a cis guy, would they just be like, sure?
But why would I need them off?
If you wanted though.
No,
like,
probably
I don't
not.
know.
Like they'd probably just be like, there's no reason whatsoever. Like they do deny a lot of agency, like Chelsea said, when it comes to reproductive organs.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, he didn't try to sell me on like, oh, you should go to a sperm bank. After I was like, since I was about 10, I haven't wanted to have any kind, like, since I was about 10, I sort of thought about this somber view of the world where I'm saying somber a lot today. This view of the
Sad
world
time.
with like overpopulation and just so many kids in homes that like I haven't really had any kind of desire to have biological children, and I don't think I ever
Do you want
will.
cyborg children?
I'd rather
little
have
robot
cyborg
children.
children.
Yeah.
I would rather have children assign children at birth. Um, so yeah, that pretty much just made him go, oh, okay, sure. But yeah, and he said that my testicles are very small. I was like, thanks.
Thank you, such a compliment. The testicles, they are very small.
It's like, no, you'll have plenty of skin to turn into a neo vagina one day when you want it. Like, no.
Did he actually say that?
It was like, I was talking to him about the thing, and he seemed to have some kind of ephemeral knowledge of how, like, it becomes a labia if you do get, like, vaginoplasty. So he, like, commented on how much I have, and he'd be like, you'd be fine. I'm like, come on. I just want my testicles out.
But, I mean, did you suggest that you wanted the option later down?
No, I said it didn't matter.
All right. So they could just cut you a seam and it'd be fine.
They could. I'd rather have them removed abdominally, though.
Cool.
Wait,
we've already talked about
reference?
my junk on the podcast because I got some sick scar tissue.
Nice.
Anyway, do you want to get to that other email or
Yep,
you've got more to
goodness.
say? Yeah, cool.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to my talk about my testicles. From Ness.
Hi, Ness.
Subject, that birthday thing. This is not even a trans thing, more a general thing, but regarding the cultural birthdays thing, I'm pretty sure in Cambodia there used to be a thing where everyone had the same birthday or something. So everyone clocked up a year at the same time, and if you were born a day after, then you'd call yourself a year younger than someone born the day before it. I thought it might interest you, but maybe fact check before you quote me on it. Fuck.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
No, but I think that we put that in there.
Okay.
It protects us a little bit.
Yeah,
I've
we're
heard
fine.
about it. I don't know where it is, but yeah, I have heard about that before as well. I think it's so interesting that something we just take for granted as being like obvious or innate is clearly not, and there's lots of other ways that deal with it in ways that are like sort of a lot cleaner and stuff too. It will make more sense in lots of ways.
Yeah. But also, like, having to fork up that much money for birthday presents,
It'd be
on that
just
one
like
day.
Christmas. It'd be like one of those sorts of festivals where everyone gets to have it at once.
But Christmas, I don't feel bad not giving people gifts because I have to give everyone gifts, and that's money. But then birthdays is different because it happens at different times.
That sounds like a you problem.
Oh. That's it for the email?
Is it done? Yeah?
Yep, we're done with emails.
Okay.
You're over there and your mic's over there.
Everyone get nice and intimate with your microphones. Get in there.
Yeah, I was down
close.
there because
The mic's
What?
down.
it bees down.
What
It
bees
bees
down?
down.
The mic. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There it is.
Look, I
No,
think I
meant
was
more
fine.
Like, you're over here and then it's there. You can. No, just rotate the mic.
I can't touch it. It's not working.
It'll get all floppy.
That's the end of the
Alright.
time.
Sag.
All right.
It's a bad time. Okay, so bad times.
Bad times.
That's the topic of the day.
Excuse our lack of energetic.
Can I start talking about my bad time, or how are we going to do this?
If
We
you
got a
want to go
slew
first,
of them.
Do you
I
want to
can
do
like get my other bad time out of the way, and then you've got a nice chunk of time. Or
We want to alternate with
We can
bad
do
time
that.
stories.
Yeah, I have like 2 minor level bad time stories.
Okay. All right, so this is one I've been like holding on to for a little bit because I've done a couple of podcasts since, maybe 2. I don't know. Anyway, I had my first like bad bathroom experience. It really sucked, actually. It was at the uni bar, and I was there with friends. I was there with my band to see another few bands. It was really good. We had a really good time. At the end of the night, we all went into the toilet. And I could hear from inside the store there was like a security guard yelling, like, a man just went in there, and then I could hear other people saying, "What are you talking about?"
oh my god.
And then, like, he described me, and then I don't know if it was someone I knew or like a friend or an acquaintance. I couldn't tell. I still haven't discovered. They were like, "Yeah, that's a girl. Like, that's not a guy." And so they calmed it all down before I got out of there. Thank God.
Yeah.
So it was all solved. I didn't have to like deal with it like full on. But like the fact that this guy was yelling into the women's bathroom, this like it's disrupting a lot of people. Like it affects a lot of people. Like obviously it affected me a lot.
yeah.
But it's not a comfortable time for anyone. I don't see why anyone would like think that bathroom policing would be a good thing. Like if this is what's happening in like North Carolina and Oklahoma and stuff like that, then it's just making it an uncomfortable time for everyone involved.
Like, you know what they say? Security guards are just people who wanted to be bathroom cops but couldn't.
They failed the bathroom cop test.
Yep.
They didn't have. They failed the physical to chase down transgenders.
Just like, it's hard to suplex trans women. Okay, some of them are tall. It's a
I'm
problem.
pretty tall.
Yeah,
I could probably outrun that security guard.
probably.
Very likely.
If it's any of the ones from UOW that I've seen around the UE bar,
Well, it's
bar,
not-
you've got a good.
It's
good
not
chance.
the UOW staff. That's the thing. Like the security on campus at UOW have always been brilliant, but it was like the security they'd hired for the event, like the uni bar, I'd hired. I haven't made a complaint yet. I don't know if anyone's done one on my behalf, but it might be happening.
Good.
But I've had a lot of other things, which I will talk about soon after someone else tells their bad time story. Unless there's any more comments on this toilet catastrophe.
Just wow, like, yeah, I just don't see how anyone thinks it will make people more comfortable to yell into a bathroom. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing that I think scares me a lot is that I pass relatively well, like by looks. And like, how much worse is it for other people? It just makes me really sad that this is a thing that's constantly happening to people.
Mm.
There's
How am I
nothing
doing?
like there's nothing illegal about what I did. Anyone can go into
Yeah.
any bathroom in this state. It's fine. Like they don't have any right to just have a say on anything there.
Like, how do you think I'm doing? Because like, I just look into the mirror and I see dysphoria. I can't tell how well I'm passing.
I think you look good, but again, it's like one of those things where, like, one, I hate the notion of passing.
Yeah, it sucks.
But two, it's like, when you're trans, I think your whole, like, concept of, like, gender and stuff like that starts to change, that you find it really hard to tell what other people see as masculine and feminine.
Like I
Like,
look at you and I see like what's there, like
What?
what you've told me and what you are, who you are.
Oh,
That's what I see.
that's so heartwarming.
Yeah, and, I can't look at you and think anything but woman. Well, demigirl, you know.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, because that's what you've told me.
THX.
Yeah, so I don't know what outside people see. And it's the same thing with me. I don't know what people see because it's probably not what I see.
Yeah.
Fair. Like, yeah, I've not really been like, there was that time that a person like backed out of a bathroom, like literally walked out backwards because I was washing my hands there in a very threatening manner.
Gotta be clean.
Just scrub it.
Maybe they don't like hand washing. Can I just jump in quickly? Like, this is completely irrelevant, but I've noticed that not too many people get the wonderful experience of having used both gendered bathrooms in their life. But I can tell you that women are just as bad, if not worse than men, at washing their hands after using the toilet. I just want to make that known. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. But like the general toilet area is cleaner in women's bathrooms.
It's because
Also, speaking from experience.
I think that like generally men just do one thing in bathrooms, and that's pee, and then get out.
Oh yeah. So I
It's a
suppose
very
maybe a
in-out
woman would have
process.
more incentive
Yeah,
to
like
keep the area clean.
that. Wait, you're saying that women have more incentive?
Yeah.
Wait, you're saying that men's rooms or women's rooms are cleaner?
Men's rooms are grosser.
Are they?
Way grosser.
I don't know. I there's a lot more pee on the ground in men's rooms.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we mean. What do
But
you mean?
besides that, everything else is dirty in women's room,
Yeah.
in my humble opinion.
I prefer blood on the toilet seat to like water on the ground, pee on the ground any day.
To be honest,
Like
like
so puzzled.
yeah, no, I'm thinking deeply about the state of every bathroom I've ever been in.
The state of emergency when it comes to bathrooms.
If you're at a football match, good God,
Mm.
those bathrooms.
Oh, I thought you were just like, good God, football matches. Just like, oh yeah,
I've never been to a football match.
me too. Never planning.
Huh. So I'm the only one. Have you been to any sports ball?
I went to roller derby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
okay.
been to roller derby.
Oh yeah, we went to roller derby. I
Yeah,
think.
together at the same time.
I think that's the last time I went.
Yeah, it's the, like one time I went to roller
That's not a
derby.
ball
Yeah.
sport.
There's wheels. They're round.
Went to my little sister's soccer game.
I think that counts. I think maybe.
Kids soccer counts.
Kids.
Anyway, before I jumped in there, you were talking about.
Oh, I don't remember.
Geez, derailed. It was a bathroom related.
What was it?
thing.
No.
Oh shit! Yeah. So that one time that someone like backed out of the bathroom because I'm scary. No other time have I really had a problem, but then again, I kind of avoid them most of the time. I guess it depends on the day I'm having, really.
Yeah. I found it really bizarre because I've never had someone look even sideways at me in the bathroom before that point. Although I make a huge point not to like verbalize in any way
Yeah, you do.
when I'm in there, and like I get really like anxious when I've been in with friends before, and they'll talk to me, and I'm like, "Fuck, don't do that. Please don't make me respond."
Hey Chelsea, do you have any toilet paper? Yeah, here it is. I'm sending it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, I don't want to have to change for anyone else, but it's this bind
Yeah.
that we end up in.
Yeah, even like coughing in the women's room, I try really hard not
Yeah,
to.
but like people, like everyone can cough different.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, is coughing a thing? Do genders?
I don't know. I don't want to try.
Gendered coughing?
I'm
Oh, that's
worried.
an awfully gendered sneeze. I can't. Ugh.
I do like make a very loud like.
Yeah, but I think some like cis women sneeze real damn hard or cough real like deep. I'm not worried about that.
We'll get one in for the next week. Get them to sneeze on the
Yeah,
podcast.
let's just go around recording cis sneezes.
Throw pepper in their face and record.
Oh my god!
It's a research.
Just for the sake of making all of us more anxious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Does anyone else want to talk about their bad time? I'm done with
Oh,
this.
Okay.
I'll like. Well, Kate, do you want?
I'll go one. Yeah.
Kate's time.
I keep having recurring stress dreams, in like where in a variety of situations my nan finds out that I've had surgery, because I'm not out to her at all. The most recent one, my whole family was in a camper van. We'd all decided to go camping, and I was just in the shower, and my nan just came in.
Have you been in a camper van before? Or
No,
is this
my family's not a camping
entirely
family.
fictional.
My brain's going to like huge depths to make me stressed out while I'm sleeping.
Yeah, I can relate to stress dreams. That's for sure.
I never have nightmares, just stress dreams.
Mm.
Like that's it. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
like-
realized that my like maternal grandmother has no idea. No one I bet no one's told her. I haven't told her. She's like so fundamentally Christian that I never want to talk to her again. Like
thinks-
I never wanted to talk to her again when I was like 12 and she was sending me Christian versions of High Five. Or
High
was it
Five is already
Wiggles?
so clean though.
I'm
Like,
not
what do
sure.
you want? What do you want?
No, they were
more
really
Christian.
pushing the Bible agenda.
Yeah, there's like that Christian TV channel I've seen.
I watch
The
that
kids
sometimes.
Christian one.
Really?
I don't know why.
Okay.
Well, like
It's a bit.
I used to. Like I don't live in a house that has Ostar anymore,
Oh.
but I did. It's just
Something so clinical about it.
novelty, I guess.
Yeah, it's entertaining in a way, and some of the
Yeah.
stuff like sometimes there's good messages and stuff like that. They're not necessarily indoctrinating kids any more than trying to instill them with the values that they believe. But obviously, that's complex in its own way.
For my 16th birthday, I got a picture Bible.
A picture Bible.
Mhm.
Why don't you get a real Bible?
I don't know. I was 16. I mean, like, come on, picture Bible. I annotated it a bunch.
But like,
You annotated a picture Bible.
Yeah, I
Did you
just
draw
wanted to be a brat
moustaches
about
on
it.
everyone?
I did draw moustaches on a few people, but yeah, okay, fine. I drew hats as well.
you go with your next bad time.
All right, I'll go with my bad time. So I was at this salon because I had time. Amari was with a friend, and I didn't really have anything to do until he was done. So I, between my laser session and needing to go home, I went to a. Oh, is that where you put your patches? I put them there.
I put them. They move around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So as long as it's like under the navel. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put them like there, and then
Yeah.
there, and then there, and there.
Yeah. Sometimes I put it on the back, like on the top of my
Ah.
butt, just to cycle it around.
But
butt, you bum. Put it on me bum.
I need to wind back so we can cut that.
Which part?
This part.
Why? It's a
Okay.
beautiful little exchange.
Okay, patches.
It's
good
just
shit.
natural and it's unscripted and it's translated.
It's true. It's true. So.
Salon.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I had time on my hands and I went to this salon and they had gendered pricing. So going in I was like, I've got time to spare. And so they were just like, oh yeah, it'll be $55. And I'm like, I'm a woman. And then they were like, oh, $45. And then after I'd had my legs waxed, like the person that waxed my legs conferred with this other person and then announced across the store that I am a man. It was a packed store, by the way. That was actually part of why I would not have been able to come back from hiatus too early. Yeah.
That's a bad time.
It was a bad time. Yeah, that was... I did mention when we came back from hiatus that I'd had dysphoria. That was the root cause. There you go. Fun fact.
It sucks that you have to factor in things that other people don't have to even think about. Like, you know, like, you basically have to ring ahead and have a conversation about your existence to be sure that things are going to be even close to okay. Like, you can't just take a stab.
I mean, like, it would have been fine if they hadn't had gendered prices because they were trying to get an extra $10 out of me.
But like,
and it's worth misgendering trans women
But
because
how
they're
does
not
it
real.
That's
make
the
any
thing that
difference? Like,
gets me though, because don't they normally charge women more than men
No.
for the same service?
not for
It's
hair
more than
removal
women.
stuff, because the assumption is that men have more hair, which is so
Alright.
not true.
Yeah.
Because like with like haircuts on your head,
Yeah. They charge women more than men with that. But then also, I think it has to do with style cuts. Like, I could go and be like, give me a man's haircut. And like $20. But also, I get the quality of a man's haircut, which is usually like barber quality.
Yeah, but like you can get some sick, like short back and sides look. Like
Mm.
I know some guys that go to barbers and get real slick haircuts that would look good on anyone. Just quality dyke cuts. Cocks. Oh no! What a slip! Oh wow! Golly gosh!
I heard something the other day that just made me go, oh god, this is too much. It was like, not heard, it was a tweet and it was a shirt that said "Tucks are for cucks." And I was just like, I either want to get that on a shirt and burn it or wear it. I can't tell.
Good God, I've seen some awful shirts recently, but let's not go there.
That one was made by a trans woman. It was fine.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to talk more about your bad time, or are we going to move on to more bad times?
God, like that bad time in particular is just
Traumatizing, right? Like
yeah,
these
it
are
was
traumatizing
traumatizing.
experiences.
Yeah, having to like argue my existence over someone trying to charge me $10. Because like if they just wanted to charge me $10 for nothing, I'd be like, yeah, sure. I don't want to make a scene or anything.
Yeah.
It's fine. Take $10. But they were charging $10 over me not existing, and I couldn't let that happen.
Yeah.
And so I didn't. They did not get that extra fucking $10 out of me.
Yeah.
And it's like my only source of comfort.
I mean, like, I'm really lucky because my auntie's a beauty therapist, and so I just get like waxing and stuff for free. So I don't have to tackle that whole situation.
Shit fest.
But like, if you of us go to the same place for laser, and they're great, right? Like,
Yeah, they're great.
yeah,
The manager was actually the one that did mine last time because he was busy.
yeah. So
And then
like,
she
yeah,
was just like, Charlotte. And I was like, what?
yeah, they're family friends basically of ours. So like,
Yeah.
small world.
Small
And,
world.
Yeah, and they're great. So we're gonna move on.
Yep.
Can we
Move
talk
on
about
from
mine?
mine. Mine's done.
All right. What was the next one chronologically? Oh, okay, yeah.
Big
But you can
Bang
chime in on this one too because
I'd
you've
love
got
to.
something. You've
I
got a
lit
connection.
fire.
All right, so I went onto a local community radio station for like a LGBTI apparently program to advertise the Queer Now festival that I was putting on. With the other person that I put it on with, and like we're in there, and we got a bad vibe because they're talking about what they want to do for their segment, and like one of these gay cis men are like, yeah, I want to talk about how the community's too politically correct or sensitive, and I'm like, yeah, well that doesn't exist, like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Thinking maybe they'll have like a counterpoint. Anyway, we do our little spiel. They're heaps supportive of us and stuff like that. They're playing music from the artists that we'd booked for the festival. Anyway, I was going to hang around after. They invited us to hang around and like chat with them, like chime in and stuff like that. But who I was with, she wanted to go, so we left. But we listened in the car on the way home, and well, hell broke loose. Basically, they were using transphobic slurs and like justifying some really awful stuff that's been going on.
Yeah.
Like
and it was like
all the problems on
these
Drag Race.
These things are like they were just disregarding everything that wasn't like hurtful against them, cis gays. They were like, oh yeah, I'll tell someone off for saying gay is a bad thing, but then they're just using transphobic slurs and saying it's totally cool. Why are trans people getting so offended?
Yeah, and there were no trans people there.
Yeah,
and there was no one arguing the point that no, like political correctness is just respect, and it's like people's privilege being.
Yeah, it's not political at all.
There's definitely. Like, I mean, current politics hates us, so like, how is that political? So I don't know.
Like, people assume it's political because the left hates us less, I think.
Yeah. It was pretty awful. I called in. I gave him a piece of my mind. I'm like, look, you can't be saying this stuff, especially straight after you had a trans woman in your studio. Now you're saying these slurs. We've told people to listen in to hear our segment. You're getting support off of this. Like, I had to apologize to anyone who was listening. To like hear to these, like, because they were throwing out homophobic slurs and stuff like that, and I guess that's their prerogative if they want to. But then like the gay men are like constantly like misogynistic as well. They constantly saying misogynistic stuff and like shit about lesbians. And there's like one lesbian, and then like they're supposed to be the good lesbian that takes it on the chin and ha ha ha. It's like, no, fuck that. Like,
yeah, that's
give
what really
it back.
shut me. That
One
she
of the
was
boys.
just kind of fine.
Give it back double. They deserve that shit. They're not even funny. Like, we do a podcast every week on really like dark issues, and we make it funny sometimes, right? Like, and we don't use slurs,
right?
and we don't go out of our way to offend people. Like, if we can talk about this shit and be funny every week and get material, then they fucking can too.
They actually weren't even regulars, I think, according to.
No, they were.
Oh, they were.
Yeah.
Oh.
One of the people was swapped over from like a different group that also does the show. So no, it wasn't. There's no excuse to be made there. It was just awful.
Yeah.
And yeah, boycotting them basically. The apology was so subpar.
Yeah.
Did they apologize publicly?
No.
Because I didn't see any hint of anything.
Although I guess the next episode would have been last week. So maybe I should seek it out to see if they decided to do it.
Yeah, so yeah, when I finally got around to like, I don't know, what was it? 5 days later.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna write an angry letter. I'm like, have you listened to it? And you're like, no, but I get the gist. I'm like, no, listen to it. Like, just,
I didn't know it was up. Like,
Yeah.
I was just sort of like pissed off that it existed.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I could listen to it yet, but I could, so I did. And then I edited it down to the transphobic segments and re-uploaded it when they took it down, so that people could keep listening. And so if anyone wants to listen to it, it's in the show notes.
Wow, cool.
We recommend against it.
Yeah, it's like, unless you really want to know what we're talking about, it's not a good time. It was actually kind of hard to edit. It was making me very angry. And also just really, I don't know the term.
I was just floored. It made me really quite emotional. I was like, this
Yeah.
is...
Yeah, I mean, like for me, I was traumatized basically, and I had to like let other people take over for me. Like I basically had an anxiety attack after it happened. Like I was shaking. Like I couldn't believe they would do that shit.
And like, I'm
Like, what did they think of me? Like when I was there, and then go on and say that shit. You know,
yeah, like I will gladly like jump in when other like people in the community cannot, like, because I know how, oh god, I really wish I had someone with me that day at the salon, like, and you did say it's probably a good idea in the future to like do buddy systems,
especially if it's somewhere you don't know, and it sucks. Yeah, it sucks. Like, you know, if we want to be revolutionary and radical, we shouldn't have to do that, but
punching people's illegal.
you can't just expect people to risk putting up with that sort of thing.
Mm.
You know, it's one thing to say what should be, but then we also know what is.
Yeah.
We have to live for what is. Oh yeah, it also makes me really annoyed when people will say LGBT when they really just don't mean any more than G.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes L. Like, don't act like you're speaking for our community when you really don't give a shit or understand or want to listen at all. You want to speak over us and tell us what to think.
But also, Pig Nation's tagline is GLBTI.
Yeah, that's a red flag there, isn't it?
Yeah. The gatriarchy once again.
The gatriarchy strikes again.
Just, yeah, like the apology. Did you get an apology, like, from the
No.
person that sent me one? Okay.
No, I haven't received anything.
Okay. Like,
I didn't hear back from them. They told me that they would call me back and they didn't.
Mm.
But hey, I was busy with other stuff, so yeah. You know, that's the first of my local media woes. The next one's even better, so stick around for that. But I think it's Kate's turn.
After the break. Do.
Well, yeah, I'm doing this gender and sexualities class at uni, and well, it's like kind of funny because I have to do this PowerPoint on transgender and read readings that are supposed to tell me about what that means.
Did you read them?
Can you use us as a source? Can you use your own podcast as a source? Because what do you use? Harvard referencing?
Harvard Orthodox, yeah.
You can totally do a podcast on that.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
do it. Just
Like,
Just keep
embed
wanting
the
to
whole
cite my own
podcast
life
into the
experience.
PDF.
Huh?
Embed the whole podcast into the PDF.
you have to print it. That's
Oh,
where
yeah.
the university still is.
Yeah, if this person was trying to, like, bathroom police me, like, one of the things I'd try and say is, like, oh, I can't use the men's room, not since the accident.
Things haven't been the same since the Fire Nation attacked.
Okay, yeah. And no, the teacher is just really uneducated and uninformed and unsympathetic.
Mm.
And, like, it's...
What is happening?
I think the door just opened
Oh,
by
the door
itself.
just opened by itself.
Ghost. It's a Casper situation in this house.
Casper wants to join in.
Train from Casper.
No, it's just...
But I love the Soul Train from Casper.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's what you want, man.
Well,
Let your imagination run wild. Okay.
Alright. Sorry.
Ghost busted.
no, but yeah, she just like keeps pulling all these like outdated theorists at me, and it's very hard to sit in there with a room of like 30 people and just be all like, well, I know what you're saying is wrong, but no, because like it just makes you feel so
sounds wrong.
small.
Mm.
You know, whenever any of that garbage happens to you, just like
If
Yeah.
I was in an academic context, I would be fighting so hard.
But it's harder when it's academic because they expect you to have like, I don't know, they expect you to just pull Harvard references out of your ass in the middle of a
Yeah, but,
conversation.
I have done that for classes before. Like, I have done research to counter readings and stuff. I've done it. I don't know why I found it easier in that setting. I understand why it might be harder. I think coming back to uni older as well has really helped me with that confidence because you don't feel like there's that barrier between you and the academics. It's like, I could have done that if I just kept... If I didn't want to get out of uni and join the real world, I could be where you are right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, she's very anti
Being right.
I'm trying to find the right word. It's not like medicalist. Like she just never grants anybody any authority over their own body.
That's like pro-medicalist. It's like 110%.
It's like
anti-agency.
pathologizing, but she doesn't believe the fact that, like, you know, surgery can help people and that hormones can help people and that these things improve people's lives.
Like anti-evidence?
No fucking clue.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Anti the real
all
world.
the evidence
Yeah.
shows that,
Like back to the
especially
70s.
HRT, improves people's like quality of life
Yeah.
exceptionally. And even with surgeries, isn't like the rate of satisfaction is just like
Oh yeah, regret is lower than like rhinoplasty or some shit like that.
yeah,
way
lower.
lower.
Yeah. It's definitely lower than like lap band surgery and stuff like that. And they just throw that around pretty liberally.
Yeah. No, but like the worst time was because like she always like pretends to take like content warnings seriously. Like there'll be like we had like a lecture on porn and there was like I don't know some boobs sometimes and she was like there is gonna be nudity in this next slide, like super real and serious, but like it also inconsistently.
Yeah.
But in this one lecture, she made us sit through the police recording of Brandon Tina reporting his assault
Oh my god.
before he died.
With no warning.
Yeah, no warning.
That's so messed up.
And it's like in this big lecture theatre and I just couldn't leave and it's the only time I've ever felt like physically like just sick to my stomach about a situation because I was like that's me.
I'm
Yeah.
like not feeling well hearing that happen.
That's me being
Yeah.
cross-referenced and not believed and I'm just having to sit here and think it's interesting and think it's like, you know, a fun way to talk about gender and then he died. He was killed. It was, yeah. This is a bad subject.
Did you report that incident?
People keep telling me I should report it, but like, I mean, I'd have other stuff to report, but I just...
If you want to tell me,
It's
because I am meeting with the university.
It's the course content, and I don't really feel like I have any grounds.
Yeah, we'll talk.
What's our next bad time?
That was a really bad.
That's pretty much the baddest time.
We're at an hour.
I've
That
got-
could be
I-
the baddest time.
No.
of all.
I mean,
We
this
just
one's
peaked that.
bad. This is
Oh, you've
different.
got more. Oh yeah, you've got more.
This one's kind of bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just me.
What is
No,
it?
no.
Okay, so here's local media being fucked again. This is me.
But it's also like the Murdoch media, so like,
It's not Murdoch. It's Fairfax.
not. Seriously.
Yeah,
Oh
our
my
local
God.
paper's not
That's worse.
even. Yeah, it's not.
Someone told me it was. And
No,
I was like,
it's
oh,
not. No.
Fucking hell.
But as bad as it, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, does it really matter? They're
No,
both
I
kind
guess
of
No,
not.
they're pretty fucked.
huge, not great
Yeah.
conglomerations that publish shit.
All right, so story goes. I'm promoting Queer Now Fest again. That was on this Saturday. You know, lots of work. We get a contact for the media through Illawarra Mercury, who like the guy that set up who's setting up the venue and all that sort of stuff, been helping us book. It was a booker at the previous place we were at. So we had a connection with the Mercury. Puts me on to her. I have a phone interview. The press release sent out said that Queer and Now Fest was started by two trans women. Oh no, sorry, two women. It doesn't even say I'm trans, but it's just two women. And then, yeah, so I'm on the phone. I do the interview. I say that I'm like a trans activist. I do a podcast and stuff. I just mention it because she was like asking me what else I do, and I'm like, I usually study, but I've deferred, and I'm doing this stuff. Anyway, like we get photos taken at the new location. All really cool. Like the photographer was a great guy. Didn't get misgendered at all. Everything was sweet. Super respectful. Everything was great. And then, we didn't get told when the article went online. It went online at 4:30. I was like, oh, I wonder if it went up. They said it might go up sometime Tuesday. This was last Tuesday. And so I go looking for it, and I finally found it at like 10 or whatever it was. And they like misgendered me the entire article. They'd used the wrong honorifics. They'd used Mr. and used he, him pronouns like the whole way through. Mm-hmm. And so, like I posted on my Facebook page, like I was pretty fucking traumatized. It was like pretty horrific. And so people jumped in and started writing into them, and they changed it. But they just removed all my pronouns and honorifics. So they were just referring to me by my last name.
Sanderson.
And then like just rearranged all the sentences or deleted them so that they didn't have he or him in it. And then the worst part was like we didn't catch them before it went to print. So it was in circulation. 27,000 people, I think. And it's just so fucking ironic because we were talking about being inclusive of not just like gay and lesbian people in this community, but like everyone in this like acronym, like trans, intersex, agender, asexual. It's just like we want to include everything we can, and then they do that. like it's just fucked. It's just so fucked.
Like the fact that after talking about Queer Now on 2 occasions, people then go and fuck up royally.
Yeah, both times were just disgusting displays, basically. Like it shows what we're fighting against.
Yeah.
Like the event went amazingly. Like I haven't had a single complaint about anything, about like people being shit to other people or whatever. So I don't know.
I'll have to try harder next time.
I'm trying so damn hard, and this stuff keeps happening. It's like I don't want to put myself out there anymore. But you know what? I met some fucking awesome people from some amazing like interstate and bands from different cities and stuff like that, and sort of made it all worthwhile. They all loved it. They all thought it was a good cause, and the day just went so well. That
Like, congratulations.
it makes
was
me want to
really-
keep going, even though all this crappy stuff keeps happening. Yeah, it's what gives me the energy to still try and do more than just try and live, which is hard enough as it is. I think we've got to make shit better somehow. Anyway, I'm gonna have a big old rant about your subject, because when I've got like 6 or 7 people that I know that have dropped out of that subject in the last 2 years because it's shit to trans people, it tells you something.
Learn about trans people in a way that helps you be shit to them.
Yeah, it's so fucked.
Ridiculous.
And like how many of these first year kids are they going to be around thinking that they've got like some enlightened view on gender? And what they actually have is like 70s regressive nonsense.
Yeah, it annoys me more than like the damage that it does to me is that there are like, I don't know, I think in my tute there's about 30, but in the lecture there's, I don't know, a lecture theatre
Yeah.
full of majoritively cis, majoritively straight people who now think it's okay to act this way, who now think it's okay to like think these things. Because, I mean, look, in a subject about the history of like gender and sexuality and how that's been presented, I wouldn't mind if they did one lecture on like second wave feminists, just like, well, this happened and this is what people thought, but we're past it now. But it's consistently being presented as truth and as the way
like they're
feminism
actually
is
citing
all the time,
fucking hell.
all the time.
Ugh.
I mean, Judith Butler's okay.
Yeah,
Now.
but not like, oh fuck. I mean, I like Judith Butler. I'm all for Judith Butler. But when people just like don't use Judith Butler's writing in the right way,
Yeah,
they're like, oh well, look, I don't understand trans people, and old Judy B here says gender is fake, so like,
Good old
I'm just
Judy.
going to ignore all the trans. Like, they're fake. It's fake.
It's just something so rich about gender conforming people, specifically like cis people who are gender conforming, because it's like you're talking about gender as it's just performative and fake, but like you're not doing anything in your life to rub up against that, and yet you can say that other people
It's like
Yeah.
really hypocritical.
It's
like,
hypocritical 'cause you're
why are
saying
trans people
gender's
trying
just-
to like be all femme. Like, why are trans women trying to be all femme when gender's fake? As I like,
Well,
like
they're
as
all
said by
femme.
a cis woman wearing a dress,
Yeah.
like with done nails and stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, she's talking to me like I don't have the right to what to pass or anything. But like, she does dress femme. She does.
Call her out.
yeah, call her
Do the
out.
Hey,
whole
sis.
femininity thing.
Just call it out across the lecture hall.
Hey,
Oh,
you cisgender. Everyone turns around. And if they don't, that's your mate.
Like, just have like sticky note aeroplanes, and the people that don't turn around throw all of them at once. Like, just keep track.
That's a lot. Like
That's
a
a
lecture
lot.
theater is very large. Like what theater are we talking
Lots of
about here?
aeroplanes.
Building 20, like communications building.
Yeah, it's
Whoa.
reasonably big. Yeah.
It's like 100 people, less than.
Something.
Yeah.
Some.
Yeah.
If there's 30 people in your class,
There are 3 or 4 tutes.
of
So
30,
yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bad time.
I just want to do that subject so I can just be angry. I might even do it next year just to be angry.
I could just do that thing where I kind of show up to lectures, and then I could yell.
Maybe I could be the tutor, even though I have no academic background. I have a degree.
Yeah, but like
Does that count?
the person teaching it sounds like they have no qualifications despite having the qualifications because it's in the exact wrong area.
I mean, she's also like objectively a bad teacher.
Yeah.
Because we're all like, so what
But I
is...
want to keep it professional here. I want to take her down on merit.
No, I can take her down on merit, though, because people are all like, so what does this mean on this slide? Or like, can you give me the source for this quote? And she's all like, oh, I didn't write the slides. I don't have the source for that. I didn't write any of the content.
I just kind of present what I'm given.
It's like,
and
I'm
don't
just here
do
to be
anything.
shit. Like, just actively here to make people feel bad. That's
I'm just here to misgender Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh my
That's-
god.
Of
That's
all
what
the
she gets
people-
paid to do.
good golly.
I wouldn't take the money. Like, I'll pay you to misgender Kate. Nope. I'm out. Leaving. Mic drop.
I just want to fight so bad right now.
Good. I always want to fight. But yeah, that's how I was getting when I was like listening to the Pink Nation thing. I was like, oh.
See, I think I want to fight more for other people than for myself usually. Like, I think,
Yeah.
like I was saying before, it's like when it hurts you so bad and you like, you know, you internalize it and it puts you on your back or whatever. But then for someone else, it's like, oh, don't you, to my mates, I tell you, I swear on me mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like,
definitely how it feels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like with the salon thing.
That's why we need each other. That's why we need community.
Yeah. With the salon thing, I went home and cried. With everything that happens to you, I want to punch someone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really want to punch people
Like,
necessarily.
I want to. I'm not going to.
No, like, because like in your salon situation, I don't think that would have been the thing to do.
No,
right?
I'm not saying
like
it is the
a
good thing
stern
to do.
talking
it's
to.
just like the guttural.
Yeah, I know. Like, I understand, but like, I wanted to say that I wanted to do that too, but like, because I don't really want to hit other women.
Yeah.
Like, actually, I don't really want to hit anyone, to be fair. But I'm a shit pacifist.
Mm.
I'm sorry, anarchists. But, you know.
Like, I'm such a pacifist that talks about fighting. I don't remember the last time I hit anyone.
Talks about fighting.
Yeah, I'm just like, I will gladly fight anyone and don't fight anyone.
You,
I'm very-
me, out the back of the shelter shed after school.
Out the back of Building 41. Where even is it? It's way out there.
You know, the one.
No one can hear
The
you.
back
be
alleys.
punched.
The wrong side of the tracks.
The wrong
'Cause the
side
school
of the
tracks.
unibar.
And
Right
then,
by the security building. Hit them right at home. They won't know.
but I always just want it to either be like the Warriors, where every gang is dressed up in like some kind of thematic, you know, get
Yeah.
up, or like West Side Story, where it's a musical, or maybe both. Like,
Okay.
if there was a musical version of the Warriors in the style of West Side Story, that would probably be my favorite thing that has ever existed.
Wait.
Can someone make that happen, please?
Are you advocating we make a trans gang?
Yeah, why not?
All right, cool.
I've already done it
Maybe
like 8
several.
times.
Really?
Like whenever I talk to another trans person, it always ends up with like, "Do you want to form a gang?" Do you
What
want
is a gang
trans
anyway?
gang?
Like, you have a
what's-
bike already. Isn't that part of what you need for a gang? A bike
Matching
and
clothes.
Matching clothes.
We need colours. We need to come up with
Pink, blue,
and
Oh.
white.
white.
Maybe.
Very intimidating. But like the thing about gangs, right? Like, you know, it can be a real scary concept, but at the same time, if you
could be a
remember
musical
Scooby Doo, the Mystery Machine, Fred always called them gang. Are they a gang? Like, was Mystery Machine a gang? Were they were just going around doing shit.
They were going around like beating up old people in costumes.
Well, they got together for a specific purpose, and they never did the thing when they weren't together.
Does that make them
That's
a gang?
just-
That's a gang.
That's just
Is
the
that what
movie.
the definition of a gang is?
And they always wore the same clothes. That was their gang uniform.
I think gang's a very loose word. I think it's...
Yeah, look, if you saw a group of people walking towards you, you could say there was a gang of. Yeah, they don't have to be a
Gang of
gang.
They
though.
don't have to be an actual gang.
Yeah.
How many people is...
Required to be in a gang?
Yeah, like if it's two, can it be a gang?
That's a couple, it's a duo.
It's a duo. It's just a dance duo. If
No
they're
matter
wearing the
what
same
they're doing.
outfits,
Dance
they're
duo, but
probably
with your
in a,
fists.
they're probably a pop duo. They're probably Jedward or something. If you've got three people
That's
that are all
cool.
dressed the same, then I guess same thing, trio. But at what point does it
5?
become a gang? 5? So at some point...
Maybe you follow a similar rule to like orgies. Like there's a like
Okay.
Wait.
2 people, then there's a threesome, there's a foursome, and then you become an orgy.
But the 5-sims a word and 6-sims a word. I mean, I've heard them.
Isn't that for when people want to be very specific about
I
exactly how many
suppose.
people
I
are
don't
in
know.
a
Like,
orgy?
I'm not
you were
really
talking
into
about
group
gangs
sex, so-
still, and like you were just like, oh yeah, with 5 people you're a gang, and then 6, 7 people you're an orgy.
Yeah. So are you suggesting that boy bands are potentially gangs? If Rowan was on right now, I would be talking about K-pop boy bands because and girl groups, they're like 20 people sometimes. Like, that's definitely a gang. They all
my
dress
God.
together.
Imagine like a K-pop group with like chains and crowbars walking towards you. That'd be
You can be a
frightening.
non-violent gang though. You don't have to have a crowbar.
Yeah, but
You
maybe
gotta
that's just
have a
their
crowbar.
aesthetic. Maybe they just go around like helping people with their crowbar.
Yeah.
Like,
Getting stuff out of places.
What if-
yeah. Or like they have a ladder and they just get kittens down from trees and things.
And chains are really helpful for wrapping around things. Like you just throw it at a thing, it wraps around a few times. You can use it as leverage. It's like it
They use
doesn't have to be
the chain
sinister.
to climb the tree or even
Yeah.
fell the tree to get the kitty out.
They just like do the thing, use it as a saw.
Yeah. Isn't there a way? There's a chain. Like, there's a way where they have like the vibrating chain or whatever. They use it
chainsaw?
to cut. It's not a. I guess I suppose it is, but it's like a really big one. Like, it's not like attached to a thing. It's like,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I don't know how to describe this sufficiently.
Anyway, there are easier way to get things out of trees.
I'm glad we started talking about gangs though, because
Yeah.
I was really bummed.
Oh. I don't know how many people are going to trudge through the first hour of sad to get here.
They always do. Normally.
It's not that sad.
Do people
though.
stop listening?
I don't know. You stop listening.
No, I always listen to the whole podcast.
Oh, when did that start?
I think when the audio quality improved.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
All right, are we done?
Yeah, we can be done.
I'm so tired. I'm so
Oh.
sorry, audience.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm not the audience, but I'm on behalf of the audience. It's fine.
So there's us having to whine about all the shit that happened to us recently. So much bad shit.
It's been like, what is it about the first part of the year? I say right now. In the second part of the year, I'm going to say, what is it about?
What is it about 2016? But you know what, listeners? You probably have shit happen to you too. If you've got one thing you really want to vent about, you can contact us. Just go to transgeneral.supplies and fill out a little form.
Yep. In the contact section, you can check out our Patreon. Give us money. That's cool stuff
Oh God,
too.
please give us money.
Help us feed our
I'm
families.
so broke.
Yes, any money will go to Chelsea for now. The mics can wait.
No. I'm joking.
I'm also.
I'm not joking that I'm broke, but anyway. Hey, one sec.
We're on Twitter as
Ahem.
@transgeneral.
Yeah. Transgender. Hey, wait, do you Twitter? Yeah, you
Twitter,
did the
yeah.
Twitter?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm at Chelsea KJS. That's me.
I'm @transprogrammer.
I think I'm at Kate Pimblett.
That makes sense.
Is that what I am?
I
Is there a
think that's
dot?
who
you.
you are?
That's it? Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's who you are in multiple ways. Look inside yourself and also
Multiple
at your
ways.
phone just to check the Twitter username. We're on facebook.com/transgeneral. And I think that's all the places we are right now. We're trying to spread in a bit of a virus-like way, but I'm not sure. Working on it.
Our agenda is the trans agenda.
Yeah, it's the trans agenda.
be everywhere at all times.
What?
Be everywhere
Be everywhere.
at all times.
Hey, don't be shit.
Don't be shit, you. You know who I'm talking about. You were thinking about being shit.
But
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
No.